It's the 21st of July 2022, and I think this is actually the path. It's really the path that connects Wellington Road near Halfords and, well, along the banks of the River Dee to Duthie Park. Well, no, the path is also further along. There's a better path, a better well-built concrete path. But I think this path leads on to it. I mean, the concrete path starts near North Sound Studios. This is the concrete path. Yes, there's multiple directions. There's that way, up to near North Sound Studios, and there's this way. But still, it's the path that links to the River Dee. But I haven't actually been along this section of it before. 21st of July, 2022. Identifying plant names. I mean, people can forget plant names, but I mean, actually identifying them in the first place when you're shooting video is not easy. Plant names are mostly Latin anyway. But I mean, those that take up gardening, quite a lot of people in retirement do that. Important to really document what they know. Sometimes if you look down at the ground, you can see that the path is tarred. Looking down at the ground. I mean, looking down at the ground, I actually can tell where paths need maintenance. And actually this path, I don't think is going to take me to the banks of the River Dee. It seems to loop back. That way is the wrong way. But actually this way, across the grass, paths do stop and start. Important to always keep the grass trim. Grasslands. They're important too. This is actually the way to the banks of the River Dee. It's through the grass. You know, there's nothing wrong actually with exploring outdoors in broad daylight. More happens in broad daylight. I mean, when it's dark, people sleep. I mean, this actually, during the morning usually, people sleep. The early hours in the morning, but actually, perhaps, some people go to pubs and clubs at night. But really, that time could be put to better use analysing videos, shooting video during the day, embracing active travel, really showing what goes on. I mean, actually, if more people embrace the outdoor world, there's more people coming outside, things actually get safer, in a sense. I mean, a lot of the crimes do happen in darkness, after people have been drinking alcohol in the pubs and clubs. I mean, this really is along the banks of the River Dee. You can't see the river from here, but we'll get there. It's from Wellington Road. I turned off heading for North Sound Studios. This is really along the banks of the River Dee. The locals will know this area. Locals know areas. Really. They might know them well. Try and cover an entire city. And you really need to keep moving. To do it quickly. By bike. Active travel. But sometimes it's better to just walk. This is really what it looks like along the banks of the River Dee in Aberdeen, between Wellington Road and Duthie Park. Since when was there a golf course here? No, it's not a golf course. I mean, really, local transport is the future. Without innovation, localised transport is it will be, it might come into being if people are not innovative. When people get older, they might get health complaints. Going places gets more difficult, and most people in wheelchairs don't go anywhere. But actually, photo and video capture, that can brighten up the world of those confined to wheelchairs. Show them what really goes on. This is the path. This is along the banks of the River Dee. In a sense, when you go off the path, it's like a golf course, like a fairway. But this section is really wild, colourful, attractive, vibrant colour. And now we've got video, full colour HD. I mean, really, a lot of these female media professionals are not shooting video. And that can really be engaging, really show those confined to wheelchairs and more disabled people what the outside world looks like. You've got to consider those less fortunate. Represent them too. Multiple perspectives. That's higher cognitive skills. I mean, just writing all day, that's not critical thinking, it's not analytical. It's not considering multiple perspectives either. You really need to get outside. And that's also appreciation of life for oneself, but it also tells others what's going on. I mean, anyway, that path leads to the bridge by Duthie Park. It's a familiar path. there's not a lot different to it than what you're seeing here. 21st of July 2022. Oh, it's Monday, beginning of the working week, 25th of July 2022. And this is a path past sustainable growing at Stonywood. And here's Lidl, also McDonald's, beyond Lidl, through the trees. This path is quite nice. It's not overgrown. There's McDonald's and Lidl. This is Stonywood, by the A947, just off the road, and it's really near. It's near the end with Bucksburn Police Station. It's near that side. I mean, there's a wooded area here. Look right, you see a wooded area. You know, there was actually teenagers in trees. Not that far away from Stonywood Primary. They had smartphones. I mean, that's the thing. Teenagers are very tech savvy these days. They looked young, likely early teenage years, with smartphones. They seem to be enjoying being amongst the trees. But actually they were coming out of them by the main road. I mean, roads, they really are quite dangerous and busy in Aberdeen. Look here. Restricted access. Keep safety. Mind on this site. No pedestrian access. It's not clear where this path actually goes, but it starts really by the sustainable growing area with a polytunnel, even a man tending it. It's off the A947. It's by Lidl. No pedestrian access again. Well, look at that drop. That's why there's a fence. A fence with barbed wire, and it's broken. Where does this path actually lead? Well, it must lead. It must lead to round about Cloverfield Gardens and Dice Academy in Bucksburn. Roughly. Well, I don't know. I'm just guessing. Because Stonywood and by the A947, that road does lead. It does connect to Bucksburn Police Station. But actually this path seems to be veering in a different direction to Cloverfield Gardens. That's by Dice Academy. I'm not planning on visiting Dice Academy actually. I've been there already. But I'm just curious to see where this path actually goes and if it can take me out. Exploring path networks. That could be quite useful when video is shared with a community. Really help people in future. But also there could be an advantage to backing up digital video files, because actually if you keep them, it's history of, well, Aberdeen in a sense, and it can enable people to look back, and that might actually enable better orientation through the city in future, on foot, by bike, even by electric mail bikes. Mail bikes are going around the city. They're the ones on 4 wheels. They're not 2 wheels to transport newspapers. They're on the go. Who's going to pedal them? Well, that's going to be the teenagers. The older ones. The ones over 16 heading for adulthood. And then the young adults. They're going to be peddling the mail bikes. But I mean, actually, digital delivery of news is more efficient. Important also to consider everyone's point of view, and that can be quite difficult. You know, Facebook actually makes it possible for people to contact easily those that run Facebook pages, but actually people tend not to bother. They might not be happy with the content that's shared, but then they might be happy just with the news that's being shared, whatever that might be. I mean, this isn't really news in a sense. It's not traditional news, but it might help people in future get through the city, take shortcuts, get mugged also. I mean, that's the problem with path networks. You can get mugged, but really there's no one actually on this path. I mean, it's all these bushes, but it's not, the bushes are not overtruding the path. The path is clear. The path is not popular. I guess, who wants to walk through these dark and dingy trees? Well, I guess someone that was evading the police could get away through a path network. It's a consideration. I mean, there's path networks all over the city. But I mean, most people have homes to go to, a registered address. So I mean, if you evade the police, you're likely to get your door broken down in a dawn raid, possibly. Here we have an empty car park. Well, this is the Travel Lodge guest car park. Pay by machine. Up to 4 hours, £1.50. For 24 hours, £3. Payment to be made on arrival. Please enter your full and correct vehicle registration and follow the steps on the machine. Pay by machine. That does away with humans and jobs. And actually, not everyone can interact with machines. Sometimes the human touch can help the most vulnerable. Download the Horizon Spaces app or visit the website horizonspaces.co.uk. Pay by fast one-off payment. I mean, that's the digital age. Electronic payment, electronic funds transfer. That was on the go in the late 1990s. Electronic funds transfer, that underpins banking transactions. Electronic funds transfer. Talk about banking. That's what underpins it. And a network of cash machines. But what underpins real-time banking systems is electronic funds transfer, EFT. A parking charge notice of £85 will be issued in the following circumstances. Parked out of a marked bay. Or parking in a disabled bay without displaying a valid disabled badge. Well, the news at the moment is that people might not be able to use their disabled badges in Europe. Well, that is news actually, that's current affairs. Today, 25th of July, 2022. That's on BBC News. Non-customer parking. Wait, no, that's a no-no. It's scored out, crossed red. Failure to register and pay for your full duration of stay. So this is the travel lodge where there's not many vehicles actually. So here's the sign. Where's the machine? The parking machine. Perhaps it's near the building. It's the 4th of August 2022. This is Albyn School, Queen's Road by Queen's Gate. Oh, that road's Queen's Gate, there's a roundabout. Anyway, Albyn School, there's one at Mill Timber as well. It's a private school. Independent school for pupils aged 2 to 18 years, founded in 1867. And this building on Queen's Road, Mum did filing for it. This is the feminine touch. Working with Dad. And his surveying firm. Armour & Partners. This was what she did. She did filing for the school. The feminine touch. Important to give women credit where credit's due. I mean, women do actually support their husband. Me also. But actually, a woman establishing herself in a technical field is actually quite difficult. Oh, there's people going into the school. Young children, 2 women. Oh, they're getting into a car. No, they're not going into the school. They parked their car in the school grounds. No, it's the summer holidays. Oh, so what are these vehicles doing here? There was 2 women, 2 young children, parking at Albyn School. Interesting. Look, boot open, children going in. Let's move on. Just take stock. When you put children in a car, you need to open the back door quite wide. And yet some cars, the smaller ones, might just have 2 front rear doors. So you need to push the chairs forward. So for women, it's difficult to establish themselves in technical fields, but money can be quite lucrative. Computing, engineering and surveying are technical fields, and women doing better actually enables them to buy bigger cars with 4 doors to get the children in. Worth considering. Anyway, this is Albyn School. it has been difficult in the past for women to establish themselves in technical fields. I mean, that's clear, obvious. That happened. Women go into caring roles, do the care homes, man them, communication roles. The police do patrols here. Queen's Road, Albyn School. Let's fill people with confidence. Visible police patrols? Well, actually, if you film the police passing and share the video, people can see, oh, that's visibility. Visibility on Queen's Road around Albyn School. That fills children and young mums and parents with confidence. Almost 5 minutes been shooting video. But let's just carry on a little longer. Something interesting's happening here. It's a development. A construction site. Graham W. Sheen, Louise Builders Limited. Conservation and refurbishment specialists. Slating, leadwork, gutter cleaning, pointing, flat roofing, all trades. 01224 252350. Well, there's men on the roof. Oh, no hard hat. What are those men shouting about? Something about the school from the roof of the building. Oh, it's still Albyn School, but it's the summer holidays. Albyn School summer holidays, or the workmen are in. Workmen on the roof, without hard hats, complaining about this is a school. Perhaps I overstayed my welcome. People really don't like video. Opposition and conflict go hand in hand. Elric via Kings Wells. Well, that's the number 5. West Hill is the number 6, also via Kings Wells. Queen's Road's a busy road, actually. Lots of buses. It's on the bus route. And there's Angusfield Care Home and Maryfield West Care Home. And so there's potential to get care home residents to go shopping in the city centre when the roads are quieter. I mean, carers could accompany a small group of older people to go to the neighbouring shops on Union Street. This is Queen's Road. And this is the Sportsman's Club. Elderly people entering. Oh, the Sportsman's Club. Look. The Sportsman's Club. An elderly man and a woman. A younger woman. Oh, there's Hostel in Scotland. It's still for sale. The hostel, the youth hostel in Scotland on Queen's Road, it's still for sale. 01224 971111. And it's opposite City Base, 9 Queen's Road. Office space available. Fully serviced and great value. With digital skills education, young women could set themselves up in business here. Office space available. Short for long-term contracts. 24/7 access. Super fast internet. Oh, super fast internet. You need that for digital skills. Citybase.com. Flexibility to expand your space and immediate availability. Yeah, that's hostel in Scotland. That's the youth hostel. There's been a few youth hostels in Aberdeen in its heyday. There was one on Crown Street. Youth hostels is accommodation for students. Accommodation for students? But this one's for sale. The youth hostel. Hostel in Scotland. Beds and private rooms with Wi-Fi actually. Youth hostel. It says youth hostel on the sign. Look, zoom in. Youth hostel. Beds and private rooms with Wi-Fi. Another bus, another frequent. Within 10 minutes. Craigie Buckler, the 11A. Yes, Queen's Road gets lots of buses within 10 minutes. It's the 21st of June 2022, just after 5 PM roughly. It's Forbes Street, and actually it's Forbes Street near the shops in Rosemount, and this is Skene Square School. Skene Square School with artwork in the playground. Actually, Forbes Street. Forbes Street? There's a sign here outside the school. Doesn't tell much. Not really. No text. Not informative. It's not a multimedia sign with text, images, sound, multimedia, video and animation. Animation these days? Oh, there's a car coming this way. It's a busy road. Parked cars lined up along the street. I mean, modern forms of animation these days, that's augmented reality. And that's really information imprinted on specs. Advanced specs, smart specs, ones that shoot video. I mean, you can really capture video without people knowing it. But I'm choosing to capture video around Aberdeen, alerting people using a smartphone. What really I'm doing is alerting people to video and respecting them, respecting children. That's most important. The privacy of children. Well, it is to, and it isn't to an extent. I mean, really, more vulnerable people, children, older women, disabled people, they can all suffer abuse. Some people really take their health for granted. This is Forbes Street. You know, actually, Skene Square School has a playground, but it doesn't seem to have a car park. I mean, all the cars are really on the street. And it's after 5 now. There are still cars. It could be teachers working hard, or it could be residents of these houses. It's always difficult to tell when you've got cars parked on the street. Always difficult to tell. But actually, pay machine across road, display ticket, max stay 3 hours. 8 AM to 6 PM, Monday to Saturday. I mean, really, teachers at Skene Square School can only park for 3 hours. Maximum stay. Have they seen that sign? And there's a ticket machine. They've got to pay to park. So they've got to keep putting meter in the machine, disrupting education, coming out of the school actually, to put meter in the machine to pay. This is what teachers at Skene Square School have to do. Do they do that every 3 hours? So they've got to do it when school goes in. Let's say it goes in at 9. So they'd have to do it at 12. Is school times actually at, or is lunchtime at 12? It might not be. I mean, they're going to have to dash out, interrupting almost lessons, to really put money in the ticket machine. This is Skene Square School. Or around it, around the area, Forbes Street. I mean, really, issues with parking. And I mean, Skene Square School's in the city centre, really. So, I mean, it's in the city centre. Very much so. So that's a low emission zone, really. So, I mean, teachers that go to Skene Square School are better off walking and cycling. Local carbon neutral travel. You know, people can get aggressive and angry when they embrace active travel. You really need to do it regularly, to do it often, to be fit. And, you know, really getting to grips with the complexities, the electronics that underlie the engineering works that underlie electric cars, and explaining it is really necessary for women and female teachers to really go about the city. I mean, I like bikes, like pushing active travel, and really me encouraging everyone to get on bikes does keep them healthy, but actually it's not practical, not in a real sense. I mean, to really help women and support them, they need technology education. But I mean, as I go about the city, people that don't know me oppose me. They oppose video, the learning, understanding. I mean, understandably, near schools there's children, but actually, no children were filmed in the woodies. Actually. I mean, there were children in the playground at Broom Hill, but from a distance, you can actually monitor the adult supervision. Let's just be clear, this is part of an ongoing story. Adult supervision is really necessary in playgrounds. It's not the job of teachers, actually. As one teacher pointed out, adult supervision in the playground, that's not their job. And this is still information that's interesting. I mean, looking after children is not the responsibility of teachers in the playground. There's other staff for that. But people don't have eyes on the back of their head. And playgrounds are largely open. You know, actually getting up close with a ticket machine may help others. Aberdeen City Council, you can pay by phone or pay online. Paybyphone.co.uk. I mean, you can check that website out later. Or call 01224 44 08 71. This is what the teachers at... Oh, pay by phone. That's what the teachers at Skene Square School do. They do it interrupting lessons, actually. They need to top up they need phones during lessons to top up the parking machine. That's what they do at Skene Square School. Location. 80 50 10. Pay by phone. Or pay online. Paybyphone.co.uk. For more information on how to use pay by phone, please visit paybyphone.co.uk/Aberdeen. This is Aberdeen City Council. 70 pence up to 30 minutes. This is Forbes Street by Skene Square School. £1.20 for an hour, £2.20 for 2 hours, £3.20 for 3 hours. So you're about paying £6 to park on the street at Skene Square School, Forbes Street for a day. This is what teachers spend. So they spend 6, 12, 18, 24, £36 in a week on parking at Forbes Street. £36 in a week parking at Forbes Street to park. £36. This is what comes out in our pay packet. Really, scrutinising the details, helping women and teachers. And what do I get? Abuse by the police. But actually, in helping people and providing information, but actually, I mean, it's controversial in the street shooting video. But really, some people oppose video, and actually I may not help in all circumstances. Information can lead to disputes and aggression. Those police officers by Broomhill Primary were really annoyed just for debating points of law. I mean, that, really. I mean, Scottish ministers at gov.scot, they make the laws, but police like to enforce them. They think they're the ones in charge, but actually, with everyone having access to legislation.gov.uk, it enables a fairer defence. And also, knowing key laws can really put people off. The council is not unable for any loss or any damage to any vehicle, or the fittings or contents thereof parked in this parking place. No change given. For machine faults, please visit AlbynCity.gov.uk. No change given. So really, you probably won't get any change either if you pay by phone or pay online. That's the Aberdeen City Council for you. But actually, no change given. No, you don't get change paying online, but paying online is actually better because you pay the exact rate. You don't pay overdue charges. That's the benefit of online. No overdue parking charges, because not if you pay in advance, and you can pay in the classroom, pay in display via online. You know, actually, that's a good point. Paybyphone.co.uk. Paybyphone.co.uk for schools in the centre of Aberdeen, and that's what you have to do for the low emission zone taking effect. Paybyphone.co.uk. Access information on the web, in the classroom, in front of pupils. So teachers need to be good at technology. They need to get up to speed. This is the digital age. The digital age was in 2 years' time, by June 2024, the low emission zone takes effect. Penalty charges right across the city if you don't have an electric vehicle, really. The low emission zone. Low emission zone is coming to Aberdeen, a city near you.